Well, hello everybody. Today I thought I would use a website to look at retirement figures. I thought maybe this is something that you might want to do as well. And again, I'm not very familiar with the website, so we're going to be learning as we go. But as you're starting to save for retirement, or at least what I'm doing, is you get to a point where you kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel of working, even though, I have a great job and stuff like that. But you want to kind of understand, are you going to be okay? I mean, that's what everybody really is trying to do, I think, in a lot of ways is, have I saved enough? Will I be okay? Really to give you that confidence going into retirement that you're going to be okay. So I've been hearing about this product for many, many years. And, I have some numbers in Excel, but Excel isn't a great tool to project out things. And this one seemed to have a lot of the capabilities I was looking for. So I thought today, let's just dive in and do a small demo of it. I've already put in some numbers, but we're going to click on the overview and actually drill into each one. And hopefully this is just kind of like a little demo for yourself. You can go out and grab this product as well. I'm in the free version right now, so you could go get it and it's free. I do plan to pay for the upgrade at some point because I want to look at some of the more advanced features. But today, let's look at just what the basic program is, how to enter in the information, and then you could do it yourself. And I would love to get some metrics from other people. So, hopefully, please subscribe, and throw in your numbers maybe in the comments. I would love to enter in somebody's real numbers. These are sort of my numbers. So I have looked at my numbers and I've done some percentages and stuff. So I want to enter in numbers that are below mine and above mine and maybe my numbers as well, and present different scenarios out. But of course, finance is very personal to you or me. And so even the numbers I enter in may be completely off from what you have. So that's where I'm curious to put in somebody else's numbers and actually see what it would look like, just to better understand the product as well as I enter in my own numbers. So I've already entered in some numbers again, but let's go in. So here's the main page when you click on overview. So it kind of shows you your net worth and what some projections are out. I completely think I have some things off because really I don't have a lot of debts, even though, I don't plan to be working in 2065. Hopefully I'm alive in 2065. And it gives you your chance of success. So this looks like the Monte Carlo projections, and it says how much money you'll have and stuff like that. So let's click on the My Plan summary here, and we can go through all the different scenarios. And again, I've already entered in some information. We'll click on a few of these and see where it goes. And I want to keep this video fairly short, but again, just a quick intro right off the bat. So we click on the profile and goals, and I expand this out. And again, I'm trying to use similar numbers where I am. So I am putting that both my wife and I, January 1973. So we're both 52 and we're both living to, I should have put 95. So I see 95 on this one, 92 on this one. And the retirement age is 64 for both of us. So let's update this one that it's female, January 1963, and we're going to put this all the way to 95. I don't know why I had it at 92. Maybe I thought that was, maybe I was doing her 95 and me 92. And if we look at our objectives, so you can actually put a whole bunch of different objectives in here. I put the 3 that were most important to me, which is maximizing my retirement spending, optimizing taxes, and creating a estate or legacy goal, which I want to do for our children. So let's click back to summary. And so this thing is, it says there is one other thing that we could do. Rate assumptions, notes. I don't know what the notes would be for. What is important to you and what do you want to do when you retire? And that for me is travel. So I would love to travel. So let's go back to summary, and it's now says complete. So let's go into our account and assets, and you can see what I've done You can connect it up with stuff. I'd love to try that at some point, maybe to E-Trade, Schwab, Merrill Lynch, wherever you have your money at. And so we have our savings in here. And again, I have a little handy sheet next to me where I did some projections out. So I'm a big believer of health savings accounts. So I have what I have in my account here. And you can see that I hope to get a moderate return of 8%. I do use the HSA as a retirement savings vehicle. So I put money in and I don't spend it. So let's go back and we'll look at my retirement savings or our retirement savings. And in this case, we do have a lot of different accounts. And what we did was I combined them all into one big dollar amount. That way, if we're doing any retirement savings, I'm sure I can set that up. It'll almost be starting from scratch. And then we have contributions here. I don't know exactly what this is. It looks like we're saving $417 a month. So I'm actually going to delete this one because I'm not really sure what that is yet. Let me go back to summary and all your savings, sources of income. I wonder where you enter in your 401k contribution. So that's probably in income maybe or something. So let's keep going. Actually, it says we have one more thing to do. Other assets. Do you own any other assets? And I'm going to say no. I mean, I have a vehicle, but the vehicles depreciate. So I don't know why anybody would add that type of stuff in here. That's not really my type of thing. So that one is done. So let's go into home and real estate. And again, there's a whole bunch of things in here that are once you upgrade. So that's partially why I'm excited to do that about future changes. Maybe I'll move and take some equity out. But here it shows me my mortgage. And what I did was I said my current value is worth $500,000. I put in a mortgage amount and here's what the payment is and my rate. I got a great rate. And the estimated payment is around January 2035, which I think is actually fairly accurate from my current one, minus some of these figures in here. So I do have the payoff date around the same date. So let's go back into summary. And it says there are more things that I could do. Let's go into debts, non-mortgage debt. So this is where I guess a few people might have credit cards, student loans, auto loans, medical debt, all that other stuff. Yes, I do have credit cards, but I pay that off every time. So I don't look at that as credit card debt where I'm actually paying that out. And I've been very fortunate around all the other ones. So I don't have anything else. Let's go into income. So if I go back to summary, so here it is. I'm already over here on income. And this is where we're going to work. So this is what I set up. So I put for one of us as of January of this year through, this is when we plan to retire, I believe, at 64. And I put, I think this is $50,000 a year. So I put that as a starting amount. And then paycheck deductions and employer contributions. Let's click on that and see what we get. So it is deducted from my paycheck. So contributions to your healthcare, 401k, IRA. So yes, we do that. Contribute to retirement savings and HSA. So this is kind of neat. So let's do the retirement savings. And we do a contribution. I will put mine. So I'm actually doing 17%, I think, or 23. I forget. I actually forget. So will this increase each year? I'm going to say no, because I don't have it set up to do anything. And do I get a match? Yes. And so I'm going to do what my employer does, not the actual match I get, but what my employer does, because I make about 2.5%, I believe. But my company says they give 4 up to 8%. All right. And that goes into a traditional 401k, which is pre-tax. We have to actually add an account. So I guess we could put it into the retirement savings that we already have. So I am going to do that and hit save. And so you actually see how much, well, that doesn't look right. Employer match, $13 where I'm doing that. So let's take a quick look at that again. Oh, I'm sorry. They give me a 50% match up to 8%. So now I understand why. All right, and then let's do my wife. And for her, I did half my income. Again, just trying to play with the tool and figure this out. So I put her making $25,000, and then let's add in her 401k as well. So, and they do add a match, and I think my wife is at 25%, crazy amount. I know that's not going to increase. And she does get a match. I'll be honest, I cannot remember what she gets. So I am going to do what a lot of companies do, 100% up to 3%. So basically 50 cents, up to 6 or whatever. So I thought that would be, let's say, a realistic number. And that is also going to go into some type of, all right, so it's going to be created. Awesome. So I put that in so you can see how to do that. So that's pretty easy. You can add another job and stuff like that. And then I have Social Security numbers in here. So I did go out to ssa.gov. You can create an account. You can put in your own numbers. These aren't the exact figures because, again, I make it a different salary. So I did adjust this with a percentage as well. But because the way Social Security is calculated, and it's very progressive as well, I took a smaller percent of a difference. So hopefully that is fairly accurate. To be honest, I don't know if that will be. And I say I am collecting at the age. So I'm actually going to do what I'm hoping to do, and we'll have to take a kind of look at it. So this is mine, and I'm actually going to say that I'm going to collect it all the way up at full retirement age, which is 67. And then for my wife, I am going to do it at right when we retire at 64. So kind of looking at that split amount for a variety of reasons that maybe I'll explain later in another video. Any passive income? No pensions, no annuities. Do I expect any windfalls? Not really. So that's what we have for our income. Let's come back to here. So we have income, record all sources. So let's go back in and double check again. So here it says not completed. So let's hit start. Do I have any? No. Do I have any annuities? No. Do I have any windfalls? Not really. So now let's come back to summary. And now it says complete. So that's how you might have to do it as well. Click on each one and do it. So track contributions for income, withdrawals, and transfers. So here it shows the retirement savings that we're doing, both for, it looks like my money, the employer match. This is my wife's and my wife's match. And are we saving any additional income? So let's actually hit add contribution, see what that does real quick. So this comes from a paycheck. Choose if you make contributions with your excess income after funding all other expenses. I do some of that, but let's look at excess income. My guess is this is if you have another job. You have excess income anytime your monthly income from all, including retirement, is higher than what you expected. How do you want to handle excess income? No, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to change that. Well, I guess it's saying, if you have extra money, at least that's how I'm reading this. Excess income is income that is not being explicitly saved or spent. You will have excess income anytime your monthly income from all sources is higher than what you have specified for expenses. And what are you going to do with that? Well, typically a lot of times, like if you say you're going to spend $5,000 is the way I'm reading this, and somebody gives you $8,000, okay, you have a $3,000 difference. Are you always going to save all of it? No, you would probably, if somebody gave you $3,000 extra, you'd probably spend some of it. So I am going to say I'm going to save 50% of it, but I think that's actually a fair amount. And let's add another contribution. So we are saving to other, well, I mean, I saved to car funds and stuff like that, but let's go back and not do any of that because we could actually figure that on. Withdrawal strategy based on spending needs, fixed percentage withdrawals, and maximum spending. So it looks like these are plus models. So I'm going to have to pick the one and save that. And that looks like it is. So here's what the withdrawals are. So it's not a lot. And then I take RMDs way out here. And then here's the withdrawals amounts, it looks like. So let's go back to summary and document your non-mortgage debts, which we said we don't have, and expenses and healthcare. So this one is actually kind of neat. I think you could get more detail. And again, I'm curious what the Planner Plus does when we upgrade it. But in here, you can actually see what I did was I put in my current expenses is about $4,000 a month. Not really sure, but I mean, I guess if I'm making, I put this couple as making 75,000. So what is $4,000 times 12? That's about $48,000. I don't know if I'd actually have $48,000 to spend. And I do put in here that I need about $1,385 a month for the mortgage. So I'm actually going to lower this down to about $3,000 a month that this example person is spending, which may or may not be right. But what I do like about this tool, again, you can add in other expenses and label it. So let's come down here into one-time expenses and disbursements and kind of look at what they do as well. Because I think these are just more, these might be generic. Starting age, starting stop, and oh, this is how much you'd spend in addition to that. So my guess is maybe if you're paying off a car right now, you could say, hey, it's another $300 a month or whatever like that. But also you can put in here one-time expenses. So let's do that one. Future one-time expenses can impact your budget. Is the amount greater than the projected available? So let's say yes. So let's put in this, and let's say we need a roof, and right now we're living in a house, we're 10 years in, and we got a 30-year, most more roofs last about 30 years. So in today's dollars, it might be $15,000. I would need to take this from my retirement income, and I'm going to need to do that in 20 years, so 62, 72 if I'm in the same house. So let's actually put that in, and we're going to do it a few years earlier just in case the roof goes bad earlier. So here I'm going to have to do a one-time expense of $15,000. I hope I'm doing this right. I don't know if there's other areas to do this. I wonder if this is where you'd also put in add another expense, and maybe this is, oh, you can only put in one. Oh, here it is. No, you can add another expense. So let's put this is the car, and it's going to be $30,000, and I'm going to need that from the retirement savings, and I'm going to need a car in, let's put it in 5 years at 57. So I don't know if there's a way. I'd love to see if you could do that every couple years. Like, hey, I'm going to need a new car every 5 years. You know, my wife gets one, and then I get one the next 5. So it's really each car is lasting about 10 years. But that'll be kind of an interesting observation to see if I can try to do that. And so again, here you can kind of see those extra one-time drawdowns, which is kind of neat. And let's go to estate planning, legacy goals, and hopefully we can then stop. And hopefully this is giving you an idea of how you might grab the account, log in, and start to put in your own number. So a legacy goal, do you want to leave heirs? Yes. desired value. So I am going to say $500,000. So, and then estate planning documents. Let's just look at that real quick. Do you have any of these prepared? And so I'm going to close it for now. You can actually see it. Maybe when I come back next time, I will look. So let's come back to the overview and kind of take a look at this. You can see the success again. You can see the income, savings rate, pretty high, 23.3. Projected retirement savings, I'm expected to meet everything. So I think I'm missing some X's because again, I would have thought this would be a little bit more detailed because it doesn't show as much as I would have expected. So here's your rate assumptions. I'm going to leave the current tax rates, although I would think they're going to change at some point. But so this is just how you can use the software. Again, I plan to keep digging into it and using it. I want to get it to a good spot where I could feel more confident about my own retirement. So hopefully Boldin was very helpful. Again, it's Boldin. I'll put the link in the description. You can go out to the website, grab it yourself, download it, install it, use the free version, and keep coming back. And hopefully I can keep showing you different features, and then I will pay for it. And I'll show you what some of the more advanced features are. And that way you can decide if you think it's worth buying as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know again, give it a like or subscribe, and I'll keep going through Boldin for a few episodes or a few of these videos just to give you a comfort level of the product and understand some of the different features as well. Thank you.